How am I going to talk about this subject matter without coming across like a total egomaniac and narcissist? I feel this topic needs to be breached again and again for us to be able to break through a 2,000-year-old spiritual ceiling. We cannot abide under this ceiling perpetually and expect to grow, to mature into the greater works and the greater things and the greater wisdom that Jesus foretold 2,000 years ago. If he wanted us to stay stuck at his level from 2,000 years ago, the evolution of the human soul would stop. And it has sort of stayed stuck for 2,000 years because we have made Jesus into our ceiling, the ceiling that we dare not penetrate. But tell me, how are you going to do greater things than Jesus? And it was him who said it, that you shall do greater things than me, than these things that I have done. Jesus said that. How do you expect to do greater things, to become greater? Because our doing is a direct result of our becoming. If we stay in the identity of smallness, in the name of humility, and always ensure that we are smaller than Jesus, how are we ever going to become that greatness that he prophesied? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you have the Jesus ceiling above your head that you dare not penetrate for fear of becoming an egomaniac, for fear of becoming arrogant and grandiose? If you are truly functioning through the divine spirit that is in you and that is you, if you are growing and evolving in that, eventually you have to let that spirit out of the cage, out of the Jesus cage, and let that spirit become greater than Jesus. Does this make sense? I am not inviting anybody to become some narcissistic, inflated ego that sets themselves up in egotistical grandiosity. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your beautiful divine soul, the divine spirit that you are before you came into this body. How small do you think you are? Or do you know the magnificence of your soul? Do you know that there is no limit to your soul? Not even Jesus. Jesus wants you to become greater. He wants you to do greater things than he did. He wants you to know more than he did. He wants you to have greater wisdom than he did. You would please him no more than to become a greater version of him. That would be so honorable to him, and he would be so honored by that. If your light would expand so much that you effect a greater work on the world than he did. You mustn't be afraid of your God self. You mustn't be afraid of your divine self, of your divine potential. You know that we have the divine potential of never needing to die. That has never happened before, and yet that is promised to our generation and to future generations. We will do greater things and we will become greater beings. that reflect divinity, that reflect the glory of Christ, the glory of divinity. That is our reality. And I want you to wrap your head around that. Are you willing to break through the ceiling and the cage that Jesus has become? Don't let Jesus be your limitation. You have an infinite soul that is desiring and seeking to outgrow anything and all that has been before. You are the new front runner. You are the new pioneer into these greater things. It's okay to be a great soul. It is okay to be a magnificent soul. It is okay to outshine the example that Jesus was back in history. Do the greater things by becoming the greater being in all divine wisdom and love. Become it. Break the ceiling and see what is in your potential future and in the potential future for all of humanity.